All right, I want to read something. I'm going to read this sign in this picture. The sign says no sexism, no racism, no ableism, which I don't know what that is, no ageism, no homophobia, no fat phobia, no transphobia, no hatefulness, and no judgments. Okay, this is a sign hanging up in a podcast. You know, this is a sign hanging up in a podcast and whatnot. That just makes me wonder. You know, I don't know how they have a conversation. Okay, I don't know how they have a conversation. When we see all of these podcasts, and we see all these people sitting up on these panels. These panels they made themselves, and a lot of people don't get that it's just people sharing their opinions. They think these are experts, life coaches and all this shit. And it's just really people talking out. A lot of times it's people talking out the side of their asses and whatnot, and they're doing more. They're doing more harm than good and shit. None of these people have any kind of pedigree. In the picture here, you had a bunch of women sitting around talking about men getting, well, this one woman, the woman in the center in the gray sweater, the kind of big woman, she was talking about how men should do whatever it takes to buy her the things she needs and whatnot. And they were just sitting up listening to her and whatnot. I made a comment. I made a commentary about that particular woman talking trash. And then I went back and looked at it again. And I was looking at the other women sitting around, and they were all, to me, other than the woman talking, the other two were wearing things that, like, one of them looked like she was just dressed for the occasion, that she didn't actually dress like that. And I thought, like, I think they're doing, like, a real disservice to people actually, looking for some insight, into their own lives and relationships, by sitting up watching this crap. I think they were doing themselves a great disservice. I didn't think any of the three women here were any great shakes or examples of anything a real man would want to be with or seek to be in a relationship with. They were talking from the point of view of the side chick or a professional. And then I noticed the sign hanging over the one of the hosts head, and I wondered after looking at that, like, how could they even have a conversation, with those rules? Okay, there's no leeway for humanity and shit. We live in this Orwellian society, and it seeks to regulate everything, even the way you speak and whatnot. And a lot of times, if you want to talk the way I'm talking or anything, you're gonna have to, cancel yourself. Like I call it being unapologetically masculine, but let's just put it on the table as being honest. Okay, they have a set number of rules there, and those rules do mirror our society today in this country. And I say screw it, especially when you're in our ethnic group, in our gender. I'm a straight black man. Okay, the minority majorities are racist, and they placed the woman in front of us in all ways and whatnot. And we're these days we're reacting to it, and they're trying to shut it down. They're trying to stop what I guess they see as some sort of rebellion. I've even heard women using that terminology, in their social media posts, like they're saying that, oh, the men started fighting back, and you thought that you were going to be listened to and all this. I'm like, man, you realize what you sound like, you know? That's why a lot of people call these sisters the right hand of white supremacy and shit. Okay, because they have Zaddy's ear. They have Zaddy's ear or whatnot. You have to consider that these days. I feel bad that I have to teach my boys to keep their head on the swivel out there, like they're in a wartime situation, like they're behind enemy lines. And that's exactly what it is, whatnot, because there's no purview in this commentary. This woman's just espousing whatever. And, like, to be honest, I don't think she ranks any of the attention that she wants in the way that she wants. Okay, I don't think she ranks. Okay, I don't think she. I feel like she's just running her mouth for whatnot. She knows that she's lying. You know, that's how I feel. I could tell. I look at subtle things about a person. I was in a certain profession, and even after I've left that profession, I can just notice, certain things about people, the way they move or speak and whatnot. It tells me what's going on with them. And like when she was talking, and I was looking at her subtle tics and everything. It just felt like somebody lying and being performative. Then the other two women were shaking their heads. And they weren't in any other, better situation. The one with the green pants on, to me, she looked like a clown, and I didn't particularly find her gear fetching in any way. I hate to be that way about it, but they say that men are visual creatures and whatnot. And even as a black man, avoiding the inherent sexism of our ethnic community that's been artificially induced there since the '60s, I have to be honest and whatnot and tell that she looked like a clown. That top was making me ill. I feel like I had drank all night and then ate a sandwich out of a dirty ashtray when I was looking at it. And the third female in the white dress didn't look like she normally dressed that way. She looked like she was just dressed for the occasion. It's like this is not reality, okay? Especially now I want to go back to this woman in a white dress. That's not reality. Appear how you appear every day and make those same talking points and watch people laugh you out of the room and shit. I have absolutely nothing to say about the host other than the framed set of rules on the wall, which is indicative of our society today. It's indicative of it. Why it's in decline. Why everything's in decline because of these, you know, like all this bad information and this Orwellian oversight. The whole thought police thing and whatnot. Pretty much I'm done for. I'm done for and whatnot. I think the people should. I think that these interactions should be more organic. Okay, but a lot of women, a good majority of women have turned the organic into a business deal, artificial. It's become a part of capitalism and shit. Their bodies and everything, and they don't see any value in another human being and whatnot. They don't see the value of being together in a truly organic, loving relationship that would produce healthy, mentally stable children. Okay, everything they're talking about is money, and it doesn't make any sense. It's like, okay, well, okay, you get all the money. What now? What now? You get everything you want. Like if you're talking to the guy, and there's like you can just see like this big rope hanging from the ceiling, and while you're talking, he just yanks that thing, and a shitload of money falls on you, and treasures and goodies and everything you ever wanted, tangible. What now? Okay, ask the female. What now? What happens after you get everything you want? I bet you she don't have no answer. Back in the day, like when somebody was being difficult, where I worked, and they would call me, the first thing I would ask them was what they wanted, and they would stop them dead in their tracks. And that's what I thought when I was looking at this and whatnot. And I saw the sign, and I was like, well, why do people even why have these conversations? If there's going to be a stringent set of rules that restrict you and whatnot, if we're talking amongst our own ethnic group and whatnot, everything should be on the table if those women can engage in blatant hypocrisy and misandry. I think that you should be able to say whatever the fuck you want to say to them. Okay, I'm not a fan of one half of a gender being, gagged, being silenced and whatnot, while they attack you, while they hack pieces off you. Okay, there's been too much neglect, along gender lines in our community for over 4 decades. And this is the result. I have to see three, basic bum bitches. Bum bitches, okay? These are basic females. Whenever you hear a woman talking about, like, just getting the things, this man has to buy me all the things I want and all this shit. Okay. What if I take I take that bet and I just give you all the shit you want at the moment. Now what? Now what do you do? Okay, you're gonna turn around and bend over for me, and that's supposed to mean something. Okay, in a open global sexual marketplace now. Like, what is that gonna mean? This shit. Okay, you know, I want to know. I want somebody to answer me in that fucking comment section. Okay, I want somebody to fucking answer me. Because I think a lot of the women haven't thought this shit over, and I don't think a lot of them, a majority of them, have the capacity to have, to sit down and think about this rationally. Okay, and then when I'm looking at this, set of rules on the wall, it explains a lot and whatnot. Okay, now you either going to be respected or you're going to be liked. It's up to you to choose which one and shit. But for you young kings and whatnot out there, I want you to remember those sets of rules and shit, okay? Keep your head on the swivel. Protect your bag. And above all else, protect your seed and shit, okay? Because that's your future, right? That's what you leave behind. That's your legacy. And do you really want to trust any of the women pictured with your legacy and your children?
This message has been paid for by the Dusties. Yes, the niggas you love to hate.